Hi friends, welcome back to Julie in the Garden. I am in my potager today and I am with my pumpkin plants. And I want to show you what I do to try to prevent squash vine borers. And what I'm doing is I have these pantyhose liners. So they're like the pantyhose that just come like above the knee, not, you know, the full tights versions, I guess. So they're like this. There's a storm on its way again. So I'm trying to fit this in before it arrives, so it's loud and windy and whatnot. Okay, so it's great because they're stretchy and like they can also spread them this way to go around the plant. And then I start it, and then as it grows, I can add more up because we're most concerned about the base of the plant on the vine. That's where the squash vine borer likes to bore in to the vine itself, and then it kind of eats it. It lays, I believe, its larva in there, and the larva eats its way out. It's really gross and it kills your plant, and that's not great. Now, I would have liked to get to most of these a little bit sooner. It is what it is. There is quite a bit of squash bug damage. Now, I think it's squash bugs. Squash bugs are more so going to damage the leaves, not the vine. And so looking at my plants, while there is quite a bit of damage on some of them, there's still like fresh new leaves coming up, so I'm not worried about it. I rarely if ever spray. This is food we're eating. I'm also very conscious of like the environment and like all my bird and pollinator friends. So I spray, or I intervene as little as possible. But this is a safe way, and I did it 2 years ago and it seemed to work well. I didn't do it last year and I did have some damage. In the year before I tried it the first time, I also had some damage. So I am actually not sure how many of these I have. These are left over from when I used it 2 years ago. And so I'm gonna start with just one of most of my varieties of pumpkins, and also squash that I have in other areas. So there are, they like most kinds of squash. I believe acorn squash and maybe the blue Hubbard squash that I have are technically a different species. They have a different Latin name, so I don't think they like those as much. So I might leave those alone, or I might just do one of each to be safe. But yeah, again, we'll see how many I have of these. Let me give you a close-up view of how I do this. This plant here is a New England pie pumpkin. Now see, this is the kind of damage I'm talking about. I'm assuming this is squash bugs. It could be some other things too. But there's some really great new little leaves growing, and it'll continue vining out and growing new leaves. So I'm not gonna worry too much about that. I am going to try to get it to stay in the bed. So I'm gonna try to wrap it around this way as opposed to it going into the path there. But I'm gonna take my pantyhose liner, and we're gonna look, see, here's the base of the plant. I'm really hoping you can see this okay. It's a little harder to do while filming. I'm gonna do my best to show you. So I'm gonna get all the way around here, gently. Okay, I'm trying to move that one. Okay, so I'm going around the base here, and I'm gonna tie it off down here. Now, ideally, I'm gonna get it like a little bit under the soil here, or build some soil around it, because we don't want them to find any spot open there at the base. And then, this again. I'm gonna try to do this and wrap it around. Now, again, this is a little more complicated by trying to show you, and this is not easy. It's a little bit bigger of a plant than I would like to be doing that on. There's a branch there. We're just going to leave that and come right around it like that. You'd probably find also taking this branch out, but I'm just going to leave it. Now, if you do it on smaller ones, you could just do as far as you can get, and then you can come back and keep going later. I'm gonna do another couple rounds here. Goodness, the label's getting in my way too. This way. Okay. And you could try to come around and tie it off, but I found that it holds pretty well. So that's my trick. Hopefully it works well. If, like I suspect, I can only do 1 or 2 of each variety, I'll probably do 2 of my winter luxury pumpkins because I have 4 plants growing. But the others I have 2 of each, so I'll probably just do 1 of each variety. It actually will turn out to be a good experiment too, because we'll see if the other plant has damage, and then we'll know if it helped. Fingers crossed that there's not a lot of squash vine borers here this year, but that feels like a big ask. So we're gonna try this out. Until next time, I hope you're all well and having fun in your gardens. Happy gardening, friends.